Alright, so a bunch of people asked to hear what the drum recording sounded like yesterday. So I wanted to make a little video, show you. So basically I have all of the kick mics laid out here in green, all the snare mics in blue, toms, overheads, rooms, and the crushed mic. So this is kind of what it sounded like, just straight in. So, and then this is with it cleaned up a little bit. And basically all I have is the EQ and this phase align plugin going on. And I think I'm gating a few things just a little bit just to clean it up using this drum leveler plugin. I'm just using the gate though. I'm not using the compression or the anything else, the leveling. So let me just show you what it sounds like with no EQ really quick and no phase align. So let's see here. So here's with just the gating. And then now here I'll enact the EQ and the alignment as I play it back. So the phase align is doing a little bit just to kind of tighten up the snare. It's actually making the snare sound like it has a little more low end. And then the EQ is just taking out a lot of these resonances that are kind of horrible in the cymbals. You can hear all that mid-rangey stuff. And that's in a lot of the mics. So yeah, so basically, for the kick, I've got this, I call it the moon mic, but it's basically the sub mic. And then I've got this D12. I'll just zoom into these hits here. D12. This is the mouse, which is way brighter than those two, way more top end. These three are on the front of the head, on the outside of the drum. Then this 91 is the one that inside the kick, way brighter, and gets a lot of the smack, and it gets a lot of bottom snare as well, which can be nice and sometimes can be too much. And then, depending on how the snare sounds. And then here's the stereo ribbon thing I put on the inside of the kick, which I kind of like the tone of. Maybe if it wasn't even in stereo, just mono, it might be cool. And then the last one is this crushed mic, which is basically, it was a little condenser mic that I basically just taped, like a mini condenser that I taped to the kick drum, and it just distorted like crazy, and then I smashed it more through a distressor. And that's gated, so you can kind of hear it. This, it sounded like it's gated just a little bit, just to get rid of the mid-rangey thing a little bit between. So that's what it sounded like before. And then with this EQ, doing a lot of cutting, little boost on the top. and then a tiny gate just to kind of round it off a little bit, so it's not just the whole time. And then all the kicks together. So if I mute the ribbons, so that's just the Moon, the sub mic, D12, get a little more upper low end kind of thing. Not upper mid. This has a little bit of the smack on the front head, the mouse, the condenser, and then 91 is like the magic mic. Just brings it to life. It's almost like an overhead, but super bright, getting that smack. Then the stereo thing, here I can turn up the stereo thing so you can hear that. Make it great. So here's just the stereo kicks. If I blend that with the other ones, you hear that smacky sound, which is kind of rad. Maybe turn those up a little bit, and then adding this crushed mic, which is this one, into the rest. Sounds papery. Just put that in a little bit. Yeah, sounds pretty cool. And then so go to the snare. So these are all the snare drums. Just loop one snare here. So we can hear like 57. Sounds kind of whatever. Wasn't too stoked on that. This condenser is a little more top end. It's got a little more air. Then these bottom snares I really dug. The stereo bottom snare, Octava mics, Octava. Although I think one of them is messed up, so the left one sounded a little different than the right. I think that something either got dirt in the capsule or something, but it's kind of harder. It's kind of heavier on the left side, more bright on the left side. That's okay though. Still sounds cool. Can always pan it center. And then here's the contact mic on the snare. Just sounds like complete ass, but awesome. And then if I put all those together, turn up the contact mic. It's gnarly. Just blend that in a little bit. Yeah, and then toms are just the 421s, which is pretty basic. I usually don't have to do much to those other than gate them. But here's one of the toms. Tom had a lot of sustain on it. I just kind of kept it, didn't gate it or anything. There's cymbal bleed in there, but I kind of just left it. But what I did do is I EQ'd quite a bit of these there's weird resonances in there in this high tom if you listen to it. So that's with the EQ. I'll just loop this tom here. There we go. So that's with the EQ. Now without. You can hear all that low mid stuff, boxy stuff with the EQ. Without. With. Just tightens it up a little bit. Same with the floor tom. I think there was some more resonances in the floor tom because there was two cymbals right next to that mic, so that it's getting some more stuff in it, some more harshness in the top end. So I did some harsh cuts. You can see here without the EQ. With EQ. Just gets rid of the not so pleasing frequencies. That way you can leave it, you don't have to gate it so much to get rid of that stuff. You can just kind of get those frequencies out and it still sounds like a tom. Coles left. It's getting rid of a lot of some weird frequency in here. I hear that ringing. Same with the Coles right, a little bit different sound. This one still sounds kind of funky to me, but it's without EQ. With EQ. Just getting rid of those weird frequencies. Here's the mono over, which is actually weirdly dark. I wouldn't expect it to be this dark, but I think there might be something wrong with that microphone. I'm not sure. That should be the brightest microphone. It's a C12, but just ended up not being very bright for some reason. This one didn't sound bad, but there's just a little mid-rangey thing I didn't like. And then, yeah, the rooms. Left room, which I was digging these. I kind of cut a lot of mid-range. A lot of weird frequencies in this. You can hear all those. My bypass. Cool. Same to the right. Sweet. And then crushed mic, which I really like. This Eevee almost sounds like it's clipping, but kind of sounds like it's. I like that smack from there. It kind of adds to the transient of the, especially on the snare. Adds to the transient of the snare a little bit. That's with version of this EQ. Without the EQ. With the EQ. Get rid of all that crap in there. And then, yeah, everything together kind of sounds like pretty rad. And then on the the end here, I've got just a little transient designer to kind of make it smack more. I put a transient designer on the snare mics, the snare tops as well, just a little snap. And then this EQ on the end here, which I just kind of, I'll bypass it right here so you can see the difference that's in and out. You can hear that mid-rangey thing around like 3K that I cut right there. Watch when I put it in, you can see. Kind of got rid of it a little bit. I tried to get rid of it over all these other mics, but still in there a little bit. That's okay though. And then yeah, that's about it. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, ask away. Thanks for watching.